Hey guys, thanks for joining this tutorial on how to get the Grafana PDF reporter up and running. I assume you already checked out the repository and changed into the source directory. Here we take a closer look on some of the files. At first, we'll have to copy the environment example file to an actual working one. Then we take a short look inside. You could potentially change some of the values here, but for for this demo purpose, I'll leave it as is. Um, Next step is building the Docker images via Docker Compose build. In my case, I did it already, so this was blazing fast, but it will last a little bit longer, but it will build fine. And when the two green, yeah, everything's fine, marks appear, you're good to go. Next, we have to generate some self-signed certificates because I'm using Nginx as reverse proxy. Therefore, we have two scripts. The first one is for generating the SSL certificates, and the second one is for generating Diffie-Hellman parameters. Let's hope for the best that this will not take several minutes, but only a few seconds. It sometimes takes a little bit longer, but let's hope for the best. Oh, yeah, not much entropy going on in machine. Yeah, so nice. Yes, parameters are generated. As you can see, you will find everything below the Nginx SSL folder. There you could exchange your own certificates with the default ones. So it's up to you. Okay, then we are ready to start up the stack with Docker Compose -d. And for the first run, I like to have some logging going on. I add this also. Yeah, Nginx container image is missing, but that is very small. And now the application has started up. You will get some errors, but that's totally normal. Settings file does not exist, as you can see. Yes, we did not start the whole thing. Okay, then I'll change into Chrome and we go to the landing page. Yes, that's because of the self-signed certificates. So, and at first you have to create the first administrator user, or simply choose admin and a very secret password. By the way, UI is in German because my browser is in German. You can change it with the button up here. We set up, and the application will change to the settings menu because we have to adjust some of the basic settings. As this is a reporter, you need a report source, so you should define a first Grafana server as your source. We click on the Servers tab, then we have the default server that we can change. We give it a better name. Then we have to supply some network address and enter our password. Then we click save, and if everything worked as expected, then we get a green status icon and the connection to the server, our first server, is ready. I will set up a second one so that I can show you some more things later on. But if you only have one server, then so it's also fine. So, and this is all we have to do to get it up and running um, right after the start. Now I will go a bit through the application front end. The dashboard page is simply nice iWork, um, some information, and the servers list will get populated with the servers you defined in the settings. But take it as it is. Then the main component is the report designer. Um, you have your data source on the left and the basic layout on the right side. We simply choose the first server we define. Then we take one of the existing organizations. On this server, there's only one. So, and one of the available dashboards. And then we can add the available panels we want to see in the report simply by clicking on the panels. You can remove them as well, and you have the possibility to rearrange them in the report. You can also lengthen or shorten them according to the setup number of columns on the upper right here. If we set up 3 columns, then you see you could do other things. We simply add another table, another panel, sorry, but I want it like that. And if you say, oh, I would like to have some more panels in my report, but there are only 2 rows. No, it's not simple as that. Take a panel, add it, and simply drag and drop it below the last line, and you get a page break, and this will generate a second page in your PDF report. So that's easy and up to you. You could also raise the number of rows, but this will squeeze the panels. So you have, I think it's a little bit try and error to get a nice looking report. So the template, I'll talk about that later, what that is. Here you have some shortcuts for time ranges, or you could simply use the standard Grafana time definition and enter it here. Yes, you can simply enter what you want and everything's fine. So we take the last 6 hours and then we want a preview. So you hit the preview button. If you hit the export button, you get a PDF. You can and this will be downloaded directly, and you get no preview. But for now, we click on the preview button. To explain a bit what's happening in the background, because report designing will last a little bit until it's ready. In the background, the backend will start a Chromium browser in headless mode, fetch the Grafana panels one by one, uh, and then take a screenshot of the panels. And those screenshots are then squeezed into the PDF report. As you can imagine, starting up the browser, loading the panels is a bit resource intense and will depend on how fast is your report generator machine and how fast is Grafana and your network connection, etc., etc. So you have to wait a moment. You have to wait a little bit until the PDF report is ready. Um, if you later define automatically generated reports, they will be executed in a job queue one by one, so that your report generator is not at the end of its limits. So you see, this is the first report. Um, not that nice, but you get all the data you wanted. Um, and that's it for now, for a simple report. If you like the layout, then you can simply save the layout, hit the button, give it a nice name, my nice layout, some very intelligent description here, and save it. You find your layouts as you would expect in the layouts view. From there, you can edit them, you can duplicate them, and you can delete them. So, regarding the template, templates are the overall background or surrounding of the PDF report, header, footer, sorry, additional information. I create a new template because I didn't like the older one. Sorry, hitting the new template button. My uh, lovely template. This is the super duper report. I don't upload a logo. You can upload a logo, and then this logo will pop up in the upper right corner of the report. You can change the colors. Let's say I don't want the basic color. I want green text on whatever background. Then I'll take this. The footer, I don't like the white text color. I set it to black. And I want to have a corporate name or whatever on the page. You can look at the preview and see what's happening. Um, and I think that's fine. You could simply change to portrait mode, then this is reflected also. You can change to letter if that's better for you. So we take landscape but letter size. And if we like what we did, we simply hit the save button. And oh, that's not so nice. Tempalter template. That's better. So. And if we generate more and more of those templates, we can simply compare them. Go to the preview tab, and then you can simply change between the templates. If you don't like the header size, you want the header size to be bigger. So we take 30. You can, yeah, you see. That would reload the data. You would have to save it, but you get the point. Yeah, I think so. Um, yes, and what if we want to use that in a existing layout? So no problem. We go to layouts. We go to edit the layout. We simply change the template, and we save the layout again. And now I reset this. If we go back and reload the layout, everything's as we want it. So we saw the report designer, layouts, templates, and now we come to sketch. By the way, if we create a new layout, we take the other server. This is a small problem that I didn't address before. If you add a second server, a third server, then the server will be safe, but it will not be populated to the front end in that moment. You have to simply save or apply settings. Both will work the same. And if you go to Report Designer again, you will see that the data is coming in. The message in the upper on the upper part of the application is a little bit nasty. It will come back. That's a small bug at the moment. Simply reload the whole page and the error is gone. So just for now. Okay, we take another server, we take another organization, and we take another report. We say we want alerts and alert details, and we want top agents histogram, but this. So, and we want the other template, save as template, sim. So we have it. And you see, you have the second report here. You see which Grafana server is reporting the data. And so if you load it in again, everything's set up for you. So it works with different servers too. If we do that, then you see everything is loading in and already at hand. So I think you're not the one to come back here every day to generate your reports manually. So you can set up schedules. We set up a new schedule and say we want a weekly report. The report is active. You can pause them, so you don't have to delete reports if you just don't want them now or for the next few days or whatever. You can simply pause it. Then we load a report configuration. This will give you a short overview of the layout details, but so you can review it. The server is pre-populated from the layout configuration. You can change it, but you will get a warning that this server was not the one you addressed the layout to. This can lead to problems. The UPS monitor server won't have the dashboards available, which are used in the seam layout configuration. So your report, in best case, is simply empty. But this is here for a reason. Let's say you have a Grafana test server and a Grafana production server with the same setup, but maybe you update your Grafana version on the test server to review if all panels are still working, etc., etc. Then you can address the same report to the test server and to the production server, and because the structure is the same. So, but for now, I don't have things like that. So I set it back to Wazoo server. Then I say I want it weekly, every Friday at 12 o'clock. You can add an email recipient if you configure email settings in the if you configure it in an email server. But if you don't activate this, then the report will still be created, and you can simply open a report history dialog, and there you will find every single report that was generated before, and you can simply download the PDF. So regarding email settings, we hop into the settings for a moment. Here you have some basic settings. I want my lovely template for sure as the default template. And normally I'd like German, so I leave it here. You know the Service tab already. Then we have the Email tab. You can set up email configuration via SMTP or via Microsoft Graph API if you like so, or have to use Exchange or whatever. By the way, Graph API configuration includes you have to generate an application secret, you have to allow email sending and email sending in the name of maybe or so. I'm not that proficient with Microsoft Exchange. I simply use it in the end as an end user. I don't configure Exchange, so I know that this these informations, these information are necessary, but I simply don't know exactly how to configure them on the server side. Yes. Then we have the users tab. I'll come back to the LDAP tab later. You can set up more than one user. You can set up user two, display name user two, which is user two with a nice password or maybe yet a random password. And then you can say, is it an admin or not? If you set it up as administrator, the user can edit everything. If you set it up as a normal user, then the user can only edit, delete, or whatever his own reports, layouts, and so on. Authentication type, there comes LDAP into play. LDAP would require that you set up an LDAP configuration. So the password authentication will be against the LDAP server. There's one thing to know. LDAP will always make a fallback to internal if the LDAP server is, for whatever reason, is not available. Then the user would have to know the password you set up here. If you simply hit some buttons to enter a password, like I did, then it's like no password. Yeah? You would have to reset it, and you get the point. Okay, the last thing I'd like to talk about is the Grafana Selectors panel. And this is a bit for the advanced user. As I told you, in the background, the headless Chromium browser acquires every Grafana panel, takes a screenshot, and these screenshots are then squeezed into the PDF report. For the Chromium browser to know when exactly he has to take the screenshot, we have to use page components to wait for the panel to have loaded correctly. And these are CSS selectors called data test ID. They are widely spread over the sources of Grafana, dashboards, panel, whole page, whatever. And we can take those selectors to identify if panels loaded correctly. These selectors are different from Grafana version to Grafana version. So take a look into the README of Grafana PDF Reporter. There is a link to the Grafana sources, and there to a special folder where you find a lot more information about which selectors are present in which Grafana version. And if you ever notice that panels don't load correctly, or you get errors in the backend log during PDF generation, then take a look at these pages, because you might tune the Grafana selectors here so that the browser can identify the panel it should load. In this case, here for demonstration, we have two selectors defined for version 9 point whatever, and for version 11 point 6 point what so. And if the PDF reporter identifies a Grafana version 9 point, then it will look and wait for a data test ID field filled with the value data test ID panel header. And in the case of version 9, there is also the title of the panel added to those values. But my PDF reporter will simply wait for a data test ID beginning with data test ID panel header. Then everything's fine, and it will take the screenshot. The same in the case of version 11. There is a data test ID panel content data test ID field. No, you get the point. If you sometimes in the future, if there is a version, Grafana version 12, using a field filled with data test ID super duper panel content, then you can add this simply by adding this selector. Say this is version 12, or it's special for versions 12.3.x. Then you could data test ID. That's written wrong. Just hold on a moment. Data test ID, blah, blah, blah. So this might be a good start value for you. And if then the PDF reporter finds this version, then it will apply this and wait for a panel with a value starting with this. Yes. Please hit save. That's important, or else this won't be saved. And then the next time the reporter starts and has to look for a special Grafana version, it will use this. If you delete all those, then it will fall back in the background to these two, simply because these are the two versions I'm using and which are working fine. So keep that in mind. And if you have to tune something, please do it here in the front end. So that was everything about Grafana selectors. Then, regarding the rest of the UI, you have the possibility to change the color scheme, the language first, then the color scheme to bright, back, please. So, and then you can simply change your password. And that's all for now. And right here, we can log out and everything's fine. What do I have to say? Many thanks for watching. I hope you're fine and you find it useful to watch this whole video. I wish you a good time. Stay safe and thanks for watching and bye.